So here we are at Southington Mustang Academy with Jojo. I did a confidence building session with her before getting started today. But she's curious and engaged, and so those are all good signs that she's kind of ready for today. I am going to clip the line on her for the first time today. So we're going to try to keep it as low-key of an experience as possible. Some horses don't really react all that big. Other horses, it's like they have a realization that, okay, now I'm flipped, and I can't leave if I want to. And sometimes they'll have kind of a bigger reaction. I try to keep things as quiet as possible. What you'll hear me say is the learning happens in the release. So if she pulls, all I'm going to do is maintain a steady pressure. But the second, if she even leans forward, I'm going to give her a big release with the rope, because I want her to learn that pulling on the rope doesn't get a release, but yielding does. So we'll kind of see how she does. What if they're going for? I'm going to get a little bit more alfalfa before getting started. It's always kind of important, I think, as well, to get your rope ready, a little tingled. So I like to make sure that I get all the kind of knots out, and I've got my slack under control, because not having good control of your rope can certainly be a hindrance in this situation. I do use like cotton line that's round on purpose, because it's far less likely to give you rope burn. If she pulls hard, it will also keep her from kind of getting to the end of my line. My line is longer than the round pin, so she's not going to, she'll still be within my range. I'm not going to lose rope. I also have my gloves on, so that if she does pull hard, I'm not going to get rope burn. So these are all things that are important in setting myself up for success, so that she has a positive first experience. So now, so pay attention to me. Good girl, give her hip. Good girl. Let me back up a little bit. Good girl. Good girl, Jojo. All right, so I've got my line and my slack. Now the line hasn't crossed. Oh, that's a good girl. Oh, funny, she's almost like suspicious there. So I'm going to give her a second. Yes, it can be here. It's not a big deal. So since she was suspicious for a second, I'm just going to ask her to come forward, because I do want her to be comfortable when I'm doing these things with her. Good girl. Good. I don't want her suspicious right off the get-go. Okay. Good girl. There's a little bit of heat right there. She's trying to get free snap. So I'm just going to be patient. Let it snap on. Oh, you're fine. This is actually bent a little bit. My scoop is, so it's not very open. It's not catching well. So I'm going to fix that really quick. It's giving us an extra opportunity to just place the snap around her chin. So we look at that as an opportunity. So good. So I'm just messing with this to make the loops a little bit more open so that my cross will go more easier. Okay, Jojo. We've used this rope for a lot of different things. Your equipment's important, and in this situation, it's not opening all the way, so that wasn't helping either. So it is clipped on her. She probably does not realize it's clipped on, but she will soon enough. Good girl. What is that? But I try not to really instigate kind of a pulling match with them. Sometimes, like I said, they're not always real comfortable when they first get a tiny bit of pressure. So we'll just see how she does. I'm going to walk this way and give a, oh, what a good girl. There you go. Good. That really wasn't too bad. It's like she kind of felt it and stepped into it. You are a smart girl. I would say that probably half the horses or more will have a reaction when they kind of figure out that they're snapped on. But so far, she's been pretty good. They do learn to lead at liberty with us. So none of that is new for her. So that she would have kind of the basic idea ahead of time. I'm not certain that she's fully aware that she's snapped on. What a good girl. Here she is. Jojo, you're being too easy on me. So I'm going to step to the side. Good girl. Good girl there. So see, there's just a tiny bit of pressure, but that's where the learning happens in the release. So when she gave me a little pressure, I got a little pressure, she softens to it. Good girl. And then she can have a reward. So go ahead and we want to do everything evenly on both sides. You're such a little star, Jojo. What a good girl she is. This mare is from Salt Wells. I think they're known for being pretty adaptable, pretty good-minded. She's been great so far, so what a good girl. Oh. Back. I intentionally wasn't really fighting against the rope. Good girl. There. Good. Back up. I do like when you back up off the pressure, but I thought maybe that's an opportunity to help her learn about that. Go. Back. Good girl. And again, we've been doing this with her. We've been doing this with her for quite a while. So she understands to stay with us. She understands to follow, to stay engaged, to keep her eyes on us, generally to pull. I know. Good girl, good girl. So I'm not adding pressure. I'm letting her feel the pressure and figure out what she wants to do with it. That was a good girl. So see that release there? That's what's really important. Remember, the learning happens in the release. When she pulls, all she's trying to do is get that pressure off. And so if she gets the pressure off by pulling back, that's what she learned. She learns how to pull back. But if pulling back does not give her a release, then she does get it from yielding and softening, then she'll learn that's what the answer is. So the better I am at my release, the quicker she will learn how to yield. Good girl, back. Good girl. Good girl, Jojo. So Jojo has been adopted by someone here. Good girl. From our facility. And they asked for a little bit of extra help. So it was just a circumstance where we were able to do that. So I'm happy we've been able to help them. What a good girl. I'm actually super impressed. This has been very uneventful kind of first leading session. Good girl. Well, typically what I like to do is try not to grill them for too long. So even when I'm leading her, I'm going to do starts and stops. I don't need her to walk forward 20 feet with me. I just need her to just learn to stay with me with the line. Good girl. And I don't need her to be a master at leading today. All I really want her to do is start learning how to accept the rope and the pressure. So I'm not going to really work with her for a long time. I just want enough that she's starting to understand the basic concept, and I want to finish with her feeling comfortable. If I leave her in a state where she's terrified, then that's what she's going to be left with. That's going to be harder to overcome later. So that's kind of our goal for this session. So I think it's been a really good session so far. I want to reward her effort. So I'm not going to do a whole lot more with her today, at least during this session. She can kind of marinate on what we've been doing, and then we'll come back and practice a little bit more later. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, a tiny bit of pressure on her face. So impressive. What a nice horse she is. Really good. So she's yielding both sides. There's a fly that's trying to chew on her shoulder, so we'll help her get that. But yeah, so here's Jojo, our first leading session. I think she's done awesome. Like, we're able to kind of finish on a good note. And then we'll do more practicing later today after she's had a chance to kind of think about what was done. Well, this is interesting here. So just about to stop. And then she was like, well, wait a minute. I can't. Okay, there we go. I was like, wait a minute. I can't leave if I want to. Good girl. So that is usually something that we see during a first leading session, at least to an extent. Good girl. So as long as she's pulling, good girl. I just want to kind of anchor. And then as soon as she yields to me, I yield back to her. Good girl, Jojo. Yeah, I think it was very reasonable. She just kind of pulled for a second and was like, wait a minute, I'm not getting relief. Let me try stepping forward, and that was perfect. Good girl. I usually kind of let the horse dictate how long or how short our sessions are based on, how much it seems like they're able to take in. Good girl. Okay. So I'm just going to review that again since she had that little bit of a, just think got startled for a second. So make sure she understands that the pressure isn't a bad thing. She steps into it, she gets released, plus the reward. Butterfly getting you. Good girl. Okay. So much better. Come on, baby. She's probably startled herself there. Okay. But I love, and there's that release. So she kind of stepped back, and I held the pressure. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. I was actually just trying to snap her there, but then she was going to go backwards. So I'm just going to hold on to her. There. Now, as soon as she stops going backwards and even leans into the pressure, I let go. Good, but that's a really important part, is your timing. Good girl. So they learned that to soften to that pressure. Good girl. Good. You're okay. Good girl. Good. 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 You're okay. So I'm holding the pressure until I want you to lean forward for me. That's all I need. Good. There. See that release? There. Good girl, Jojo. Good. But if I'm off with my release, then I will make it harder for her to understand the concept because she's looking for that rope to soften. So if she yields to me and I don't soften my pace, if I don't do my part, then it's going to take her longer to figure out what the answer actually is. So much of her learning this quickly is dependent on me doing my job. So I'm going to ask her, since it's kind of hard for me to ask her to step forward. A little bit of pressure. Good girl. Good girl. I think she's going to get it. Good girl. I am going sideways on purpose because if I'm stepping in front of her, she can kind of sit on that pressure. Good girl. It'll help get her to step forward if I go sideways. So instead of her sitting here on the pressure, if I go sideways, it throws her balance off a little bit and helps encourage her to step forward. Good girl. Back a little bit. Good girl. A little bit of pressure. Good girl. And there I softened for her. Good. She is smart as a whip. Good. Here you go, Jojo. Good. Good. There you go. See, that's not so bad, is it? So I'm going to try to go sideways to her since she's sitting on that pressure. Again, if I release when she's stepping backwards, she's sitting back, then I've taught her sitting back is the answer. Good girl. Good. Good, I just want to unsnap you. And there we go. Then I'm going to drop the rope. A lot of times we kind of want to think about things after we're done. So having a break is really important. I drop my rope so she can investigate on her own when I'm not in here. And I do want to end a little bit with some confidence building without the line on. Good girl. So I don't want her to think that just because I'm in here, the line's going to be on and it's going to be hard. So I just kind of go back to things that I know are easy for her, so she understands. So I'll just do a little bit of leaving at liberty. Good girl. Good. You're awesome. Good. So you did a good job. I don't think your feelings will really hurt. It's not always easy learning new things, but we can certainly set our horses up for success to make it experience that they're prepared for. And if we're doing our job right, then we can help them to kind of get the concept quicker and then make the whole experience easier on them. Good. And that's it.